food shopping video, and you're probably going to be in one of three categories. Either you're new to this whole health and fitness thing, you've maybe experimented with other things before but haven't quite found your fit, or maybe you had something new that's come upon you, like you decided you wanted to compete, or you had a major health issue and it kind of shook you and woke you up and made you say, oh wow, I need to start paying attention to my health. That's been happening a lot to people I know lately. So it doesn't matter where you're at, this is the food shopping list I've used for basically the last 7 years. And if you know my story, you know that my health kind of took a little nosedive for a little bit, and I was able to heal it with eating a really, really good, clean diet. No prescription medications, just eating really good and focusing on some lifestyle changes. So this food shopping list I love. I share it with my clients. I have a copy of it here. So what I figured that I would do is I created an email account that I'm going to have you email to with your email. I'll share it with you at the end of this video, and that way I can email you back a copy of this list. So I'm just going to kind of run through a couple of things. I have 5 columns on this list. I'll start with the produce, which is basically the fruits and the veggies, 2 columns for that. And the reason why is because when you walk into a grocery store, that's typically the place you're going to come to first, is you're going to see the produce, the fruits and the veggies. So that's where I always start. And I'm sure you've heard before that you want to shop on the outside of the store, right? You don't want to go to the inside aisles unless you're getting something like toilet paper, in which case you have no choice. But other than that, you want to typically go around in a circle. So with the produce, I have things like salad greens, zucchini, asparagus, broccoli, which I call myself the broccoli monster because I eat probably like a whole bag of broccoli every day. I know it's kind of a lot of broccoli. People are always shocked at how much of that I eat, but I love broccoli. And something else that I kind of want to add is if you're listening to this for the first time and you're thinking, wow, you're crazy, I actually really enjoy all the food I eat, and your taste buds acclimate over time. That's what happened to me. And most of the clients that I work with, they tell me that they start to not even want the bad food anymore, and their body literally craves the good stuff. So once you get to that sweet spot, it's so much easier to eat healthy and to stick to it. So back to my veggie list. Cauliflower is a really good one, mushrooms, tomatoes, and then I put spaghetti squash and sweet potatoes on there. I don't know if it's a fruit or vegetable, it's a tuber, I guess, a gourd, whatever it is. It's in the produce aisle, so that's why I threw it on the veggie list. Those are my carb sources. I'm gonna kind of spoil the surprise right up front and tell you I do not have a column on here for carbs. So I don't have bread, I don't have pasta, I don't have oatmeal. You should get that out of your diet. Maybe you can do quinoa, and sorry I go off on tangents, but I'll kind of add this too. So I would say about 90 to 95% of my clients and the people I work with, I try to get all of that crap out of their diet. When I say crap, I mean breads and things like milk, and I consider that to be crap. I don't consider that to be real food. And I try to get them to get off of that. Some people, I allow them to have it, and it's kind of a case-by-case basis, but it depends on that person's health. But I promise you, if you're dealing with any kind of health issue, whether it's an energy thing, whether it's something physically going on inside, when you get the inflammatory foods out of your diet, and things like dairy and gluten inflame people's bodies more than they realize, with very few exceptions, you're gonna find your health improve. It's as simple as that. And it's almost like taking a magic pill, or lack thereof. I guess the poison pill is the gluten and the dairy. So that's why I choose to get my carbs from sweet potatoes, spaghetti squash, and I have bananas on my list. I've heard people say before, oh, if you want to lose weight, don't eat bananas. But it depends on your activity level, and it depends on when you're eating bananas. Okay, so sugar is bad. Sugar in fruit is still sugar. At the end of the day, it still spikes your insulin, and it still can lead to fat storage, and it can still reduce, or it does reduce, your body's ability to burn fat. However, there is a time and a place for carbs in the diet, especially around workout time. So I eat bananas around workout times. Moving on, otherwise I'll chatter and continue to go off on tangents. Let's go to the protein column. I want to mention here about how quality is important, especially when you're talking about meats. What's the difference between like going to the store or and getting a chicken breast, or going to a restaurant and eating a chicken breast there? The quality, because sorry to say it, but the restaurants are not going to always go for the best quality. Typically, they're going to go with what makes them money, which is going to be cheaper protein, poor quality. It might have like, processed ingredients in there. And for the oils they use, they're gonna be cheaper oils. What's wrong with cheap oils? They're higher in omega-6s, it inflames the body. Inflammation is the root cause for so many health issues. When you reduce inflammation in your body, everything just starts to fall into place better. And that is, you know, one of the main things you need to be focusing on with any health and fitness goal is reducing inflammation in your body. So back to the protein column. Chicken breast, lean ground turkey, grass-fed beef, again, grass-fed because it's gonna just be much better quality. So I know it's gonna be more expensive, but you kind of have to decide, are you going to save $1 today and then cost yourself a bunch of bucks in the future when it's time to see the doctor and you have all these medical problems? Sure, it's only gonna make that much of a dent in your health, but over time, if you focus on all the little things, it's all the little things that add up and make a big difference. It's not one big thing that you're gonna do, it's a bunch of little things you're gonna do that are gonna make the difference. And I can tell you just from putting them in practice in my own life, it really does work. When it comes to fish, you want to get wild-caught fish, so wild-caught salmon, Alaskan or Pacific is going to be better than Atlantic because the lack of regulations that the farmers or fishing farmers, whatever you want to say, in the Atlantic have. And when it comes to eggs, again, you got to spend a little bit more money to get a better quality egg. I get Vital Farms because the chickens are fed grass. I know it's sometimes a big joke, okay, cage-free eggs, who cares? But it really does make a difference in the quality of the eggs. Not cage-free eggs, cage-free chickens, you know what I mean. Okay, moving on to the fats column. Coconut oil, olive oil, avocados, and if you do like nuts, do them in moderation. They're high in omega-6s again, which inflames the body. So people a lot of times, and this is for myself included, find that when they have a lot of nuts in their diet, their body doesn't burn fat as well. So it's one of those things you'll have to experiment with and try yourself, but I can promise you if you eat fats like egg yolks, avocado, coconut oil, a little bit of olive oil as your main fats, then your body will burn fat faster, and they're very good for your health. I'm gonna do a whole other video on like the fat and the cholesterol myth, because that's a whole other topic in itself, but do not be afraid to eat fat. You need to eat fat to burn fat, you need to eat fat, you need to eat cholesterol for your body to produce hormones. So it's very important that you don't eliminate fat from your diet or that you don't like drop it down to nothing, and that's a big mistake I see with people all the time. Last column, the spice column, of course, stevia would be number 1 on my list. If you know me, you know I like travel with stevia. Sometimes if I go out drinking, which I don't drink often, maybe like once or twice a month, I carry packets of stevia in my purse so I can sweeten my drinks with that instead of adding, you know, like soda or juice in there. And what else is on the spice list besides stevia? Who needs anything but stevia to spice up their life? Cinnamon, sea salt. You want to go with sea salt, vanilla extract, apple cider vinegar. I love that on salad dressings. Spicy mustard, seaweed flakes. I actually love seaweed flakes. If that's not quite up your alley, don't worry about it. But I love that. And tomato paste. And I get, I should have added this on the fat list. There's this mayonnaise that I get called Primal Mayo that's made out of avocados and egg yolks, and I love it. I eat it basically every day. So that is my food shopping list. There was one other thing that I wanted to say. Oh yeah, you're probably wondering what you do with all of this stuff, right? If you hear snoring in the background, it's my dog, so sorry about that, but you know, he's sleeping, that's good, at least he's not barking. So what you do with all of this is you prepare it. And I am going to do another video right after this to show you how to prep your food. And if you would like this list emailed to you, just email. I just created the email account, so I keep forgetting what it is, but it'll come to me. It is foodismedicine123@gmail.com. Just shoot me an email saying, give me your food shopping list, whatever. If you email me, I'll know it's you. Foodismedicine123, and that's like the number 1, number 2, number 3, @gmail.com. If you have questions, you can always find me on Instagram. It's @LindseyDayFitness. Lindsey is with an E, not an A. On Facebook, it's Lindsey Day Fitness. On Twitter, I never check it, so don't worry about it. On Snapchat, it's Lindsey R Day. All right, guys, I'll see you for the next video.